All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining tonight. This is what I feel and what I know is a really important broadcast, a really important roundtable. We've got a collection of fantastic influencers here. The collective following in this room is enormous. So I'm going to turn it over to each one of you to give a short introduction of yourselves for the people watching. So let's start with Destiny.
Hi, I'm Destiny Ray, also known as Draco Des. I am a 16-year-old TikToker, and I started about a year ago in this journey.
Corey?
Hey, I'm Corey Bailey, aka the Black Trunks, aka Mama Trunks, which all the kids know me for. I basically make comedy content on TikTok. I do a lot of mom comedy. I'm at 4.2 mil right now, so make sure you check in with that.
Unbelievable. Isada.
Hey
Hey,
guys, my name is Isada. Reality TV personality, and yeah, I create beauty content, lifestyle. So that goes from beauty to fashion to travel, everything.
And Zach?
My name's Zach Parker. I play professional football. I was in the NFL last year, and I went to the CFL after that. I basically, just do lifestyle. I have 360,000 followers on Instagram, and I just, spread love and peace. So that's amazing.
Excellent. So I guess I should introduce myself also. My name is Dominique Baker. I'm primarily an Instagrammer. I've got a YouTube channel devoted to hair care. On my Instagram, I just share beauty and fashion content. Same sort of deal. I pretty much keep it light until last week. All right, so I'm going to ask some questions of each of you. Just quickly, Isada, which reality show were you on?
I was on Love Island.
Ah, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So I'm going to throw this question out there, and whoever this is directed towards, all of you, really. So, how has social media made you feel over the past few days? And how have you dealt with any negative emotions, if you are dealing with any negative emotions? So, whoever wants to answer that first.
Yeah, I would start it off. Social media don't get me wrong, it's keeping me informed on what's going on behind the scenes, of course. You don't see everything that's on there, that's on live TV and everything, whatnot. So it's just the way that a lot of people are handling it and posting about it. A lot of people are doing it in the wrong fashion, I think. A lot of IG comedians are doing it in the wrong fashion, posting, don't get me wrong, what they're posting in the IG caption is very sentimental. But the videos they're posting is like throwback videos or, that was comedy related. And stuff like that rubs me the wrong way. And the way I handle it, like, honestly, I would comment and tell them how I feel about it, and I would just leave it at that. I don't think it's sentimental. I don't think people are handling it the right way. And I would just voice my opinion in their comments and let them know. Like, it's very inconsiderate of, the family and whatnot. So that's how I'm handling it. I just let people know. I try to DM them and let them know.
Honestly.
So,
anyone else?
For me, I feel like differently than you because I haven't seen anything that I found offensive on social media about this. But for me, I felt very connected with everyone because it almost feels like a lot of us are getting together as a group now to try to fight for what's right.
I agree. I do feel connected and I do feel empowered as well. But also, I feel like the media is not like showing the full picture. I feel like they show a lot of like looting and violent protests, but there's a lot of peaceful protests going on as well. And I wish media was showing that as well.
They're also focusing on certain types of looters and not all of the looting that's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah. Zach, how about you?
I feel like what I've seen, towards Instagram stuff like that. I'm connected with guys like Sean King. We talk here and there. I seen he posted a lot of stuff like daily on what's going on today in today's world. So I'm just in tune with that. I haven't really seen too much like bad things as that, but what I see going on is like all cultures and stuff like that. I've been outside protesting or all coming together and stuff like that. So it's good to see that, all colors are coming together and participating to try to, get one thing to, come together. So that's what I've been seeing. And I mean, I'm pretty, proud of what's, coming together as a whole,
Yeah.
not, like with George Floyd and everything like that. I'm not really, happy about it. As far as like everyone coming together, racists fighting for one goal is pretty good on like what I see. So I'm happy for that. So
Excellent. All right. So are you seeing anything in particular on social media relating to current events that's upsetting you? So I'll give an example. So that protesting or looting, for one, you only see a lot of times one side of the story. Another thing that bothers me that I see on social media are comparisons. Some white people will contact me via DM and say, I know exactly how you feel because this happened to me. And I'm like, you know what? You're making it all about you, whereas I just need you to take it all in. Have you guys experienced anything similar?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, when the first thing another person posts is about the looting and it's not about George Floyd, then you know something's wrong. Like you're worried about the wrong stuff. Looting should come after everything is handled with the George Floyd situation, if you ask me.
Yeah,
So I
people
feel
are
about
more
that.
worried about losing stuff like in the stores rather than someone losing their lives.
Yeah.
yeah, I had a old teammate, white guy. He was talking about. He was like, I saw a post of him. He was comparing like bee stings like for the average person to like the average like black person dies by police, and I had to like call him out like like you shouldn't be like, even if you're trying to deliver a message on statistics, you shouldn't like put it out that way. Like you need to realize like how you're putting your post out. It's other people are looking at it a certain way instead of you just putting my statistics out there and stuff like that. So we stood on the phone for 2 hours. I had to explain to him what we go through as everyday life and stuff like that, and how like it's just a different side of view. And after the 2 hours of the phone call, he understood and got a better understanding of how we see things or how we live and stuff like that. So that was what I did yesterday.
Okay, we have quite a few viewers who have tuned in. I appreciate everybody who's watching right now. I encourage you all to please send in your questions whenever you feel free. I'm keeping my eye on the questions and will be happy to ask the group here. For the people who are on the roundtable right now, can you turn off the notifications on your phone? They're causing us feedback, okay? Just double check that for me, please. Okay, next question. What type of content is inspiring you right now? Is there anything that you're seeing that's giving you hope right now?
For me, I've seen a lot of people stop posting their regular content, and that really shows me that they're trying to focus on a bigger picture. And so that's kind of what's inspiring me right now. It's to know that people have stopped and they're listening and they hear us and they're trying to make a change as well.
Excellent. Anyone else?
Yeah, for me, it's seeing his family speak. His son speaking, his brother speaking. That's is what's really motivating me. I mean, seeing stuff online. I mean, King Batch is handling this really, really amazing. If you ask me, he's posting about the situation and everything that's been going on. But the thing that gives me the most motivation is, like I said, seeing George Floyd's family speak. So
I agree.
Okay. Destiny, you've
Yeah.
got a massive following on TikTok, along with some other people here. How can you spread awareness to other people of your age range, which isn't preachy? Actually, I feel you do a really good job at what you're posting on TikTok.
Yeah.
You connect with your audience really well, but how can you spread the message without sounding like, don't do this, don't do that?
Yeah. So like as a 16-year-old on TikTok with the following that I have, the age range of my followers are like kind of the same as me. So I feel as if it's like the perfect time to spread awareness. And so one thing that I try to do is like I have a platform that I could post on. So when I take action, I show them that I'm taking action in hopes that they'll want to take action as well. So this is usually like if I'm signing a petition, then I'll give that link to the petition or donating, just all stuff that they could do as well. And these are just all things that I could do that wouldn't come off as preachy.
Excellent. Isada, do you have any tips for how to spread awareness without sounding preachy?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any tips for how you can spread awareness to your followers without sounding preachy at all?
I mean, for me, I just like share information that I get, and I feel like it's not about being preachy. It's just getting the resources out there. And I actually posted about it yesterday. I've lost a few followers since I've been posting about the Black Lives Movement ever since this started, but that's okay because that means I'm filtering out all the racist people and whoever feels uncomfortable with me preaching about my life and people who look like me. So if that type of content makes you uncomfortable, then I'm okay with losing those followers. That's completely fine with me, you know. So
Agreed.
yeah.
Anybody else want to weigh in on that? Okay.
I mean, I'm posting all my stuff. You go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. You good.
All right. I'm posting all my stuff on Instagram. All right, I'm going ahead. I'm posting all my stuff on Instagram. A lot of my followers on TikTok is young crowds and whatnot. And just posting on TikTok about situations like this. I mean, I've seen how a lot of stuff was handled in the past, and I just don't know if me posting it on TikTok is the way to go. Like I prefer like the posting on Instagram for sure. I feel like I got more of a voice on there, and that's where my older crowd is. They understand more of what I'm trying to get through, you know.
To add on what you're saying, I feel like Instagram is also like the people on there are more mature than people on TikTok. A lot of the times people on TikTok want to argue about something that doesn't have to be argued about.
100%.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to my next question. And like just a quick reminder, guys, mute yourself if you're typing, or turn off your notifications on your phone. We're getting a little noise, a little background noise. Okay, so there's an uptick on racist challenges on TikTok, like especially considering especially considering the young demographics spreading these videos. How do you feel about okay, so let me rephrase that. So there's an uptick of racist TikTok challenges, and I feel that a lot of the people spreading these racist TikTok challenges, they're younger, maybe don't have the maturity. I don't think that's an excuse, because when I was that age, I knew better. You know, how do you feel about that discrimination? How do you feel seeing this, especially as a young person?
I mean, it's really sad. I mean, it's honestly like, I don't know if it's the parenting or what. Like, it's just sad to see that go up online. I feel like that should get red flagged off the rip, as you know, a lot of the creators, when they were trying to post about George Floyd at the beginning, that got taken down off the rip from what I'm hearing. And, you know, that stuff should also be able to get censored and taken down. I mean, it doesn't make you feel good when your younger people, your younger audience see stuff like that. I know it doesn't make them feel good, because when I was younger and I first started seeing, you know, understanding what's going on, it's a gut-wrenching feeling, you know. So
it is gut-wrenching, exactly.
I've seen a quote that says, that's along the line of racism is not like, you're not born with it, you were taught it. You know, so I feel like most of these kids, as you said, you're young, they don't know better, even though that's not an excuse at all whatsoever. But I feel like it's up to us to teach them. You know, if their parents might not be teaching them what's right or wrong, maybe we should have to, I don't know, we have to teach them. I don't know what else to do at that point, because we cannot control what their parents are teaching them, you know.
Do you guys ever call out anybody on TikTok when you see these? Yeah, you know what I noticed with TikTok, but you know, I don't have a following whatsoever or follow that many people, but I noticed that when I comment on videos, they respond right away. So have you guys called anybody out or called anybody in, that's when you actually try to have a reasonable dialogue, as
No,
opposed to
whenever I see anything like that, I block immediately. Like I don't spend the time commenting at them. They know what they're doing. Like it's not right, so I just immediately block you.
Awesome. Anyone else?
For me, like a lot of people, you see they'll say stuff just because they want like the clout off of it. And so if I like know they're doing that, I scroll past. I'm not gonna comment for the algorithm. Like just leave it.
Oh wow, that's great advice.
That is great.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Yeah, ignore them. Don't give them the views that they're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next question. How can social media users use the platform to spread more positive messages, such as support for the Black Lives Matter movement using that hashtag, crowdfunding, etc.? Do you think using humor is a good way to spread the message? I personally do. But yeah, it takes a little finesse. What do you guys think?
Personally, I mean, right now, I think it's too soon. When it's just 6 days or 7 days after the rioting just started, I just think it's way too soon. That's why I commented on that one guy's post. It's like, put yourself in his situation. Like, let's say that he was on your dad's neck. Would you post a comedy video related to that and then try to post some sentimental stuff at the bottom? Like, I know I wouldn't, based off of, what I know that's going on. I wouldn't do that. It's just not for me.
That's a great point. I included in one of my latest Instagram posts, try to make, if you still don't sympathize, try to come at it from a different point of view. Like if that cop was kneeling on a puppy's neck, oh my God, like that would really inspire massive change and uproar. And I had a lot of people, which was crazy to me, send me DMs about, oh yeah, now I get it. It's not funny, but like I couldn't help but laugh. Like people can be really clueless.
Yeah, it's just too soon. I think just give it a little bit of time before you post anything comedy related. For me,
Yeah.
Any brutality or anything like that. Let's give it some time.
Okay, I actually have a question coming in. My friends are watching. I have a question coming in on my cell phone, and I'll just like search this right now. Do you have any tips on how white people can be better allies? How your friends of the white persuasion can be better allies?
Amplify our voices. Share resources, donate. Have that conversation with your Black friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, a black square isn't enough. You know what I mean? Just post. The only thing you post is a black square. I mean, thank you for posting, but that's the only thing you post. Come on now.
What's really hurtful to me is I woke up this morning, like I woke up yesterday just like so upset to see all these black squares taking over the Black Lives Matter hashtag. And then I woke up this morning to see that so many influencers had removed the black square. And these were the influencers who posted that black square with no context, no information, no prompts for people who are following them to donate to certain places or donate to certain organizations, no educational information shared. So I don't know. I'm personally happy that a lot of people that I know are ready to open that dialogue. But yeah, that black square was so not enough.
Yeah, it's nowhere near enough.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near.
Okay, so here, Zach, this question's for you. As a black male public figure, have you dealt with how have you dealt with racism? Have you ever dealt with any racism? And I'm asking this, and this is coming from a place personally. I live in Ottawa, the capital of Canada, which is a political town like Washington, D.C. They're very sensitive to racial matters. So I haven't had many racist experiences whatsoever. I don't know if that's the same for you. I'm assuming it's not. Can you tell us more about your past, your experiences?
Well, I'm from Reston, Virginia. It's by DC. It's not a lot of racism going on um, out there, but I haven't really dealt with a lot of it. But I have when I went to Liberty University, like in Lynchburg area. It's more of a wider area like that. I deal with a couple situations where I was in a store or something like that, and I was just being like looked at more than other color would be. Um, and I just dealt with it just with buying the stuff and just leaving and just stuff like that. So
Okay. Anyone else? Like, we're all public figures here. I would say the bulk of my racist experience have been when I started on Instagram.
Yeah, I know for me, I mean, Instagram, not so much. TikTok, I had a few people say some things there. In the high school, I mean, I live in a county right now where it's like 75% white people. So, I mean, that's kind of tells you how it goes. But definitely in high school, I had a few experiences where, like a friend of mine at the time, he said something very racist and he didn't know I was behind him. And I heard that and his friend tapped on him and said, "Hey, dude, Corey's behind you." You know, like, why would you say that? Shh, be quiet, trying to shush him up. That's when my eyes really opened up, like, oh, okay. I was like, okay. I didn't say anything, I didn't do anything. I just, started shedding away a little bit, just like turned the shoulder a little bit. But that's when my eyes definitely opened up for stuff like that.
Anyone
And
else
that's
here?
yeah, that's really my experience with that stuff.
Sorry, Corey. Anyone else here deal with it in a way that could help others?
Well, I could say for me, it wasn't like people being racist towards me, but I grew up where it was like just all white people, like no people of color whatsoever. So for me, it was like me wondering to myself, why is my skin color darker? Why does my hair look like this? Why am I not looking like everybody else? And so that was one of my main struggles. It wasn't that people were saying stuff to me, it was just I was wondering what was wrong.
You know what? When it comes to racism, because I live in the Bronx, so it's not really white people there. It's mostly Hispanic people. So that's Dominican or Puerto Rican. So instances where I felt racism towards me is like, let's say I go to a nail salon, it's ran by Hispanic people, and I'll go in there, and other Hispanic people will come in after me, and they'll do their nails before they do mine, which is not okay. So what I would just leave, to be honest, because I don't have time for it. So I would just leave.
Of course. And why give them that business if they're not respecting you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just remind the viewers watching, please send in your questions. We're here to answer them, okay? So, have you dealt with any harassment online since this started last week, or since this started with, our fellow brothers being killed? Since you voiced your opinions online, have you had to deal with any online harassment?
I think someone already touched on this, but I haven't dealt with anyone saying anything directly to me. But since I started posting this stuff, I definitely had people unfollow me.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
the only
me, I've said it already. I've lost followers, but no one directly came to me and said anything about, harassing me. But there was a one instance where I posted about Trump, and someone wrote me a whole essay about why I should not be doing that as an influencer, promoting, not promoting Trump, I guess, or whatever the case may be. And I just blocked him. When it comes to instances like that, when people try to come for me, I just block them. I don't really entertain negativity at all. I just block them.
That's amazing because, I deal in my daytime job with public relations, media relations, and that is like rule number one, do not engage. But sometimes I feel it's necessary. I was brought up not to take any crap and to garner respect for myself. But, sometimes, most times, it's just not worth it. So, yeah. Any other questions online? Okay, so we have a question here. I know a lot of non-Black influencers and creators have muted their accounts this week to amplify melanated voices. From your perspective, what would you like to see happen next week? That is gold. That's a great question. Anybody want to weigh in?
I mean, next week, honestly, I would want to see just more unity. I would say just more unity next week. You know, this week is a lot of grieving and a lot of rioting. This week, I would like to see a lot more unity.
You know what I'd
And
like to see?
What's up?
Sorry, Corey, finish your thought.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'd like to see more diversity on brands' feeds and more diversity on everybody's feeds. I can't tell you how many, okay, well, one, influencers that I follow who are enormous, and they will host influencer brunches, or they will throw conferences, and there are no people of color at the table. There's no Black people, there's no Asian people, Indian people, you name it. And something I'm aware of as a Canadian is there's a real huge lack of Indigenous representation online. I'd love to see more of that. What I'm seeing this week is a lot of brands and a lot of fellow influencers are starting to post more people who look like us. That's great. It's a start. I've had a lot of brands reach out and apologize to me too. Anybody else weigh in?
I wanted to add on to that because I've seen like a lot of people like post just because everyone else is posting. I want next week for people to continue posting. This isn't a trend. I want this to keep on happening until we get what we're trying to get. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I agree with that. I see brands. I feel like some of them are posting just because that's what everyone else is doing, and I feel like it's a PR stunt. If you're being honest, they're saying this now. They're in solidarity with us, but in reality, are they hiring Black influencers? Are they paying their Black influencers on time? Like look at their structure. Like, do they have like Black people on the top of their management? So I feel like it should start there, not just posting square saying, "Oh, we are with you guys." It takes more than that.
Yeah,
So
I'm with Corey on that. More unity next week, not just posting a black square because everybody else is posting it, stuff like that. I just want to see more, us come together and stuff like that. More unity next week. Keep posting till like Destiny said, till we get what we want. Like that's what we're supposed to do. So.
Have any of you stopped posting brand collaborations this week? I have. I
have as well.
Okay.
It's not appropriate right now. There's bigger things that we need to fight for right now.
Definitely.
Any other questions online? All right, so we have one from Nadia Chamberlain. What messages have you received from your white friends that you felt effectively showed their support? I've wanted to reach out to friends, but don't want to come off as self-serving or self-righteous.
Can I talk?
Yeah, Destiny, go ahead.
My friends have definitely reached out as soon as they seen what was happening to see if I was okay. I think the biggest thing is just making sure that you're making it about them, telling them that you're there, telling them that you're standing with them, and just making it about them in general.
Yeah. I've had people screenshot their donations to GoFundMe pages. Like, actually, Corey, not Corey, excuse me, Zach, one of the biggest uptake I've had in my stories was reposting the fact that you have asked people to send in, GoFundMe pages or raising money through Cash Apps. Like, oh my gosh, that got reposted so much for me. So
appreciate it. Yeah, I've been this week, I've been sending, Cash Apps, PayPal's, stuff like that to, families that need, food or, living situations or anything like that. I had a couple of friends, from that I knew from home that contacted me. They needed food, for the families because everything that's going on today, the world, not even just George Floyd, but the virus going on, and just don't have a lot of funds because of jobs and stuff like that. So I've been just giving money out to buying meals, ordering food for them, etc. And then like any companies, brands that like been looted, anything like that throughout the protests and all that, the riots and everything. I've been, trying to, help them get some sales for their businesses or sending them some funds, to, help them get their business started or reposting their GoFundMe page or anything I could do to help like that. So that's how I'm, trying to help out.
That's excellent. Any other common messages that you're getting from your friends?
Yeah, I had a couple friends, they messaged me and said, I hope all is well. Contact me if need anything, any prayers, stuff like that. Just checking in with me and stuff like that. So, I felt that was good that they reached out to me for that. So.
Okay, we have another question from online from one of our viewers. Okay, Sophie Roy has asked, what would be your preferred types of posts that we can share with the people, i.e. local brands, resources, petitions, etc.? Also, thank you for doing this video. It's much appreciated. You are welcome, Sophie. Okay, so what kind of posts?
I would say definitely resources, probably the most beneficial thing to post right now. Even if you can't donate necessarily, there are links that you could sign petitions. There's also YouTube videos that if you watch them, all the revenue places are donated. I don't know how to word that, but like it will go back to what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I get you. We follow you. That is brilliant. Anybody else?
Honestly, I think what you should post right now is sharing the other victims, not just George Floyd, the victims before George Floyd. Try to get justice for them next, and just keep pushing for that.
Okay, we have some more questions from members watching. Okay, from Keltbal, what would you suggest to brands to ensure that Black creators get equal opportunities on the market? This is fantastic. Great question. That's something I struggle with personally. Any ideas that you'd like to share?
Honestly, I say look at the content and look at who you're about to sponsor, and just look at everybody's and look at what's really different. Like, is that content really better than the other person's content?
Yeah.
Are they really doing much more? And just ask yourself,
Exactly. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I feel like it shouldn't be looked as, oh, is it like a Black creator versus a white creator? I feel like just look at their content, and is that the person that you want to be promoting your company?
Yeah, I work mainly in hair care, and I can't tell you how many times I've been included in a campaign with people who just aren't necessarily up to snuff. Like their content's not that great, or their hair looks terrible. Meanwhile, they're bypassing so many of us who have great engagement, have great followings, and have the look and everything that they're looking for, but for some reason don't choose us.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions from online, from viewers? Okay, Christy Laverty, what actions do you hope to see, particularly on social, in the future after the story falls from headlines?
I want more stuff to hit mainstream. We got lucky that this hit mainstream. If you ask me, like this went mainstream at the perfect time.
Yeah.
I just ask that everything else gets mainstream, like all the victims that get killed and get slid under the rug or never make it out the city. The stories, it's stories after stories after stories. It's not just George Floyd.
You know what I'd like to see also are good news stories involving Black people. We don't see enough of those. I think if those were broadcast more and shared more, I think a lot of white people would be more engaged and maybe start thinking of us differently or including us more.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to weigh in? No. Okay.
I'm on the same side as everyone else. Basically, what I wanted to say was just what Corey says. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess moving forward, I do want to see more influencers using their platform for what's right and not what's aesthetically pleasing, you know? So just share more stories and not be afraid of, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to ask one more question here. I think this is pretty important. So I get a ton of people asking me for resources where they can educate themselves. I'm very much the mindset of I will take the time to educate these people who are asking me questions. I know I see a lot of online of people fed up with doing that because like I took the time to read up about the Holocaust, and I took the time to read up about, the Vietnam War, so on and so forth. And other people can do that too, but if they're looking for help, I'm going to give them. So what are some great resources, websites, you name it, that you could share with people looking to educate themselves? One of my favorites is the Instagram account Ask a Person of Color. Great rabbit hole right there. Are there any other websites that you guys like or anything at all?
Honestly, for me, it's Twitter. Like the last few days,
You
all you
learn
gotta do is click on one of the trending hashtags and
you
just
learn so
scroll
much.
through and see what's up.
For me, I would say I don't know any offhand right now, but when I find them out, I always post them on my Instagram stories. So
Same. I agree with everyone. And also, there wasn't anything on top of my head, but I know there's this post that was sharing 5 shows that anyone can watch on Netflix to educate themselves on Black oppression. So I'm gonna go ahead and name them for anyone watching.
Yeah.
When They See Us, 13th, Who Killed Malcolm X, Time, The Khalif Browder Story, Explain, The Racial Wealth Gap. So those are 5 shows that you can watch right now on Netflix and educate yourself on these um, circumstances.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I don't know any off the top of my head either, but when I see stuff, on Twitter or Instagram, I usually, repost it on my story to, spread, awareness and guidance to whoever needs to, give more information on, whatever topic that we're trying to spread. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
Just quickly, do you agree? Do you take the time to answer questions from, white people, sending them in via DMs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Sure.
do respond. Yeah, I usually respond to, everyone, for the most part that I can, whatever questions they have or anything like that. I'm really, active on, just replying and trying to help whoever in need of, information or anything like that. So,
All right. Any other questions from online? So I think we will wrap it up. Oh, one more. Sorry. So this is from Michelle Liquier. I've seen a ton of resources on Instagram from Black, Indigenous, people of color, and just keep posting my own stories and then to Facebook stories as well. That's a start. That's great. Just spreading awareness is, I think, what's needed right now. I can't tell you how many people contact me and have said, I didn't know any of this, which is shocking in its own way. But anyways, yeah. We have one from Tiana. I see a lot of boards. I see a lot of boards that I sit on, especially at academic institutions, where there is a general lack of Black and Indigenous and people of color voices that would be so helpful on issues. How can I call this out in the most impactful way? Let me tell you, I was on the board for Dress for Success. I recently resigned because it just became a little too much to juggle. And I saw that, they need a little bit more representation. This is for the chapter in my city, and I requested to be on the board. Because a lot of people who use that service, a lot of women are Black women and Indigenous women and people of color. So yeah, any tips on how to call that out in a diplomatic fashion without ruffling feathers or causing resentment? That's a tough one.
Yeah, I was about to say that's really tough. I mean,
I always try to come at it from a place of try to put yourself in the other person's shoes.
Right. Like, how would you want to hear it if it was you in their position?
How would you want to hear it? Exactly. Yeah. I think just starting the dialogue too is a great way. Yeah. A lot of people are really oblivious to it because they've grown up in communities where there are no people of color, so it's not even something that's on their radar.
Yeah.
So I've been lucky. The times that I've called people in about that sort of thing, they've been very open, very receptive. Okay. Have another question from Michelle again. Do you prefer to call in or call out anyone who says something racist? So just to clarify the terms of call in and call out. So call out is usually more aggressive. So, I saw that you posted on Instagram that blah, 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 and I don't agree with it. And that causes, a defensive reaction. Whereas calling people in is actually taking the time to put people down and, get their point of view and talk to them, have like a insightful, calm conversation.
You can go.
All right. Honestly, I mean, if you really feel like you should call them out, and if they got a big platform, I say, do what you got to do. I mean, you shouldn't be spreading the wrong message. I say go at them a little bit. Definitely let them know how you feel. And don't shut away from it. Let them know. That's how I feel about it.
I was going to say I probably in the past have called out people about it, but I feel like the way that would be more effective would be like calling in and telling them that like why it's wrong, because some people, they don't grow up knowing that being racist is wrong. But it's wrong.
Like, I'm taking notes right now because when it comes to stuff like that, I don't know. I just block them because I feel like I don't have the time or energy to sit there and tell you the most obvious things. You should know what's right or wrong. You're not a child no more. There's so many resources out there. You should educate yourself. You should not be ignorant at all whatsoever. So I think moving forward, though, however, I should open that dialogue and call them in and speak to them so they can maybe understand from a more familiar voice rather than just block them from my life. And I'm telling you, I've done that. Like, these are people who I've considered friends, like non-Black friends, of course, who I've seen move a funny way to me during this whole past week. So I've just blocked them. I didn't give them a chance to explain themselves whatsoever. I seen something wrong. I'm like, oh, that's how you feel? Blocked.
Yeah, you definitely should do that. I would say. I mean, we're too grown to not act like we don't understand what's going on. Like, you're grown people still, thinking like that. There's no more calling in, I should say, for me at least. I mean, if you're a grown man and you see everything story after story, you're just getting called out at this point.
I agree. There's no excuse whatsoever.
So, unless you guys have anything left to say, I think we'll wrap this up. But I just want to summarize some of the key points here. So, letting your audience know to keep amplifying their messages of positivity and awareness. Like, just amplify, amplify, amplify. Don't tolerate any garbage or any hate. Block them and do not engage. Okay? Like, I feel like there's no point in trying to reason with some of these people. try to minimize the humor when you're trying to get an important point across. That just dilutes your message and makes it seem too blasé. And this definitely is not a trend. Just keep the momentum, moving forward, and be sure to express yourself. Before we stop this also, are there any last words that any of you want to express? Any last words that you'd like to share with those watching?
I think we covered everything very well. And I just want to say that I'm very thankful to be able to express this on here.
Thank you, Destiny. I feel actually a little starstruck being in your presence because I
Oh my
think your
God.
talk is fantastic. Not to minimize anybody else's work here, but I love hair. I love hair care. All right, Corey, any last words?
Just think before you post. Like I said earlier, put yourself, like, if you was George Floyd's son, would you honestly post what you're about to post? Like, if that was your dad, would you post what you're about to post? Just put yourself in a different state of mind before you post.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I feel like I want to add that to my bio on Instagram. Isada, any last words?
I mean, just continue being our allies, spread awareness and resources, and yeah, let's change the world.
Fantastic. Zach.
Yeah, I just want to say, every day you wake up, just, try to, better yourself, and so you can help the world just be a better place day by day. Regardless if you're a big influencer like us, or just, don't even have Instagram, or whatever the case is, you still matter, and just, you can help, change one by one, day by day. So, that's all we need is for everybody to just, change and just be better and grow every day so that the world can be better. So, like I said, just stand together. So that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. I asked the viewers to give everyone here a follow. We have a collection of hilarious TikToks, super informative TikToks, beautiful Instagrams, and an NFL, CFL player here. I love, love, love all of your platforms. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your knowledge here.
Of course, it was an honor.
Of course, thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys. Take care.